Who, then, is considered unshakable? The one who cannot be broken down by anything outside their reasoned choice. Epictetus. Born in the year 55 AD, in the heart of the Roman Empire, young Epictetus was no stranger to adversity. He was born into slavery, a circumstance that would break many but not him. Epictetus would go on to become one of the most influential Stoic philosophers in history. His teachings have the power to transform lives, even in our fast-paced modern world. Now, as you sit down to watch this video, ask yourself, have you ever felt trapped by fear? Fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of the unknown. Have you noticed that in your life, fear often takes the wheel and steers you away from your goals and dreams? No Stoic lets fear get in their way. Perhaps it's the fear of pursuing that dream job, the fear of asking that girl out, or the fear of embracing change. Epictetus once said, "It is not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." Today we'll explore 5 Stoic laws that can help you kill fear forever. Stoic wisdom that has the power to transform your life, just as it did for Epictetus. Watch till the end. These 5 laws form a puzzle. If you miss one of them, you will not get the expected results. Watching videos like these tells me you are eager to improve. Consider yourself an exception then. Law number 1. Learn to differentiate things into 2 categories. Epictetus understood one fundamental truth. In life, there are things within our control and things beyond it. This simple truth transformed the course of history. Epictetus said that you should always apply this law immediately when something happens to you, and see which of the 2 categories it belongs to. The weather, other people's opinions, the traffic. These are all examples of events that lie outside the sphere of our reasoned choice. Imagine trying to approach a girl. The fear of rejection is paralyzing you. You are battling with yourself for minutes. Your anxiety and fear are sky high. But remember what Epictetus said. Happiness and freedom begin with a clear understanding of one principle. Some things are within our control, and some things are not. So, let me ask you, in that case, what is under your control and what is outside of it? It is under your control to make the move. It is under your control to approach her with confidence even if you don't feel like it. Be brave, even if you are not. No one can tell the difference, said Mark Twain. It is under your control to accept the worst possible outcome. She might not be interested. How can you call yourself free when you are a slave even of a little girl? Epictetus used to tell his students, outside your control is her reaction, her approval. You can't force her to say yes. Other people's actions and thoughts are not under your control. Don't try to control the uncontrollable. Accept this simple truth and eliminate 90% of your fears, or neglect it and continue to suffer. The choice is under your control. You have the power to transform frustration into calmness. Law number 2, the power of perception. If death was terrible, Socrates would have believed the same. Epictetus. It's a matter of perception, many say. Epictetus was the first one to suggest this. He believed that it's not the events themselves, but our opinions of those events that determine our feelings. Consider a rainy day. Some see it as a gloomy inconvenience, while others perceive it as a refreshing gift from nature. Your perception shapes your reality. It's a superpower we all possess. It's the thing that differentiates us from animals. People are not disturbed by things, but by the view they take of them. Epictetus said so wisely. Have you considered that it's your perception, your interpretation of this storm that fuels your fear? Picture this. Scenario A. You continue with your current girlfriend for 5 more years. At the end of this period, you look back and realize you haven't made much progress. You felt complacent. Scenario B, the relationship ends and after 5 years you find yourself healthier, wealthier and happier. Which one would you prefer? It can go the other way around too. That's the point. We can't judge external things as good or bad because we don't know where they'll lead us. Nothing is good or bad, said Shakespeare, but thinking makes it so. A breakup is an external thing since you need her approval to get her back, and that is not under your control. How can a breakup be a bad thing if you now get more time with your friends and build the six-pack you always wanted? What if you can now clearly see that you were in a toxic relationship? Sometimes, when we are dancing, we don't notice the steps. For some, a breakup is the best thing that ever happened to them. Why? Because of the story they told themselves. While the majority sees the end of the world in a breakup, These people see an opportunity for growth. What would have the most profound impact on your life, asks Epictetus. Change your perception, and you change your world. A shift in perspective can transform fear into empowerment. We've already covered the first two laws. The fourth and fifth ones are the most important, but to understand them, you have to realize the meaning of endurance. Law number 3, the art of endurance. Circumstances don't make the man, they only reveal him to himself. Epictetus. Now think about moments in your life when you faced adversity, moments that tested your endurance and resilience. Have you ever noticed that the path of most resistance is often the path most feared? People prefer to stay inside their comfort zone, which, by the way, should be called the living dead zone. A Stoic always accepts the difficult path, assuming it results in personal growth. Seneca, another Stoic philosopher, said, "It's not because things are difficult that we do not dare. It's because we do not dare that things are difficult." Consider a marathon runner. The fear of exhaustion and pain looms large, but it's the same fear that propels them forward. In your own life, have you faced challenges that initially seemed insurmountable? What if you reframed your perception and embraced these challenges as opportunities for growth? Every obstacle you overcome becomes a stepping stone on your journey to fearlessness. Every adversity you face adds to the story of your life. Epictetus used to tell his students a story of the Greek semigod Hercules. When they felt fear, Hercules encountered two paths during his journey through life. At a crossroads, he comes across two beautiful women, Virtue and Vice, who personify the contrasting paths he can take. Virtue, dressed modestly and radiating an aura of wisdom, offers Hercules the path of virtue, honor, and righteousness. She promises him a life filled with meaningful accomplishments, self-respect, and the admiration of others. Virtue encourages Hercules to choose the challenging path of moral integrity and personal excellence. On the other hand, Vice, the seductress, appears alluring and enchanting. She tempts Hercules with the pleasures of a life devoid of virtue, where he can indulge in hedonism, selfishness, and immediate gratification. Vice lures him with promises of wealth, power, and immediate pleasure. Hercules faces a momentous decision. He must choose between these two paths that represent the eternal struggle between good and evil, virtue and vice. After careful consideration, Hercules decides to follow the path of virtue, embracing the principles of moral integrity, courage, and righteousness. His choice leads him on a heroic journey filled with challenges, trials, and quests, where he demonstrates great strength, bravery, and nobility. Throughout his adventures, Hercules faces numerous temptations and adversaries, but he remains steadfast in his commitment to the path of virtue. Ultimately, Hercules achieves great renown, not only for his physical prowess, but also for his moral character and the countless good deeds he performs. What would Hercules have become if he had chosen the easy path instead of the challenging path? Epictetus asks his students. Now he asks you the same question. Law number 4, courage in spite of fear. What do most people do when their life, property, or wife is at risk? They fear. As a Stoic, you must differentiate yourself from the rest. We've all stood at a crossroads in life, facing decisions that seemed to weigh us down with fear. Have you ever felt paralyzed by the fear of making the wrong choice? The fear of regret? Epictetus encouraged us to recognize our freedom of choice, saying, "Freedom is the only worthy goal in life. It is won by disregarding things that lie beyond our control." Consider this. Every choice you make and every step you take is a stone put on the canvas of your life. If you view each choice as an opportunity rather than a burden, the fear that often accompanies decisions can be replaced with excitement and empowerment. You have to be able to stand out for what you want and believe. In his book Discourses, Epictetus narrates the story of a brave Stoic, Helvidius Priscus. Helvidius went down in history as the fearless Stoic. He was a Roman senator and always had the courage to fight injustice in politics. He had no problem fighting with the emperor for what was right, even if it meant risking his life for the common good. One such incident occurred when Vespasian, the then Roman emperor, asked Helvidius to not attend the Senate's meeting. Helvidius refused and said, "As long as I'm a senator, I have to attend the meeting and say what's right." "But if you do that, I'll kill you," said Vespasian. Helvidius laughed. He then said, "When did I tell you that I was immortal? You will do your part, and I will do mine. Your part is to kill, mine to die without fear." What happened to Helvidius Priscus, you ask? Vespasian, amazed by this Stoic's courage and bravery, spared his life. Are you showing enough courage in your everyday life? Are you trying to become the man that the Stoics want you to be? Things like never giving up and doing the right thing even if it costs you show true character. Next time someone mistreats a stranger, stand up for them. Fight for what's right. If you are not going to do that, who will? We are now stepping into the fifth law. Many have heard it before, but few apply it. Are you one of them? Law number 5. The value of reflection. Don't hope that events will turn out the way you want. Welcome them in whichever way they happen, and your life will flow well. Epictetus. This is the 5th Stoic law from Epictetus to conquer fear. Aren't you tired of replaying past mistakes in your mind, causing anxiety and self-doubt? The past is gone, forever. No matter how hard you try, you can't go back. And even if you cry and moan relentlessly, you cannot unsay what you've said or undo what you've done. The future is yet to come. It can change in ways you can't even possibly predict. Focus on the present. Why? Because your actions now will create your future. Epictetus reminds us, self-reflection is the school of wisdom. The Stoics used to say, if you want to rule over a great empire, rule over yourself. It starts with self-awareness and reflection. Use the past to calmly analyze mistakes. Understand that your past self has died, and now you have another chance in the present to make things right. Use the future to motivate and inspire you. Imagine yourself as a fearless Stoic who cannot be broken down by anything without their consent. He is a wise man who does not grieve for the things which he has not, but rejoices for those which he has. This reminds us to appreciate what we have rather than dwelling on what we lack. Have you taken a moment today to be grateful? Gratitude kills fear. You can't be grateful and fearful at the same time. Consider the value of introspection, of learning from your experiences rather than fearing them. Let them become your teachers. When you reflect on your choices, your actions, and your fears, you empower yourself to grow and evolve. Let others repeat the mistakes. Epictetus knew that the advice of Socrates was too valuable to ignore. The Greek sage used to say, "No wise man repeats the same mistake twice." As we conclude this journey into the Stoic laws that can help you kill fear, remember that Epictetus, a man who faced unimaginable adversity, left us with a legacy of wisdom. Don't explain your philosophy, embody it. I don't care how many Stoicism videos you watch. Show me what you've learned. Go out there and apply these 5 laws in action, and then send me an email telling me the lessons you applied. For everything that happens to you, quickly understand if it's under your control or not. Then, understand that the event itself isn't good or bad. It just is. Embrace the event using the manliest trait, courage, to face what has happened to you. And finally, be ruthless with self-examination and holding yourself up to your high standards. It's your choice, your perception, your endurance, your bravery, and your reflection that will lead you on a fearless journey through life. This is the only way. This is the Stoic way. If you want to continue your Stoic journey, join our community and subscribe for more wisdom on your path to becoming undefeatable. Embrace Stoicism and fearlessness in your life today. Tomorrow is too late.